If you're anything like me, you have a mind that worries about the future. What's going to happen? How are things going to play out? There's a lot of uncertainty and we just don't know what's going to happen, and it looks like it's going to be bad. Yet when we begin to dive deeper into how we create our experience of life, we see that there are moments when you aren't afraid of the future. There are moments when you worry and you feel that worry, and there are moments when you feel hopeful and you feel hope. And if you look at the fear of the future, you see that it's an image in your mind of what you think the future will be. So you're not really afraid of the unknown, which we always say the future is unknown. You're afraid of your image of the future, and that image comes from what you take in, what you watch, read, listen to. If you listen to a lot of people who are afraid of the future and say everything will collapse, then you'll have those images and ideas spinning around in your head. Now you might say, Henri, that's because it's true. Things will collapse. That's why I think about this. That's why I read about this. But the human mind is not good at predicting the future. And you're very certain about what's going to happen in the future. And I'm not sure that certainty is valid. Because you can read newspapers 10 years back, 20, 30, 50 years, and you can see the things people were afraid of at that time. And then you can see how many of them came to pass and how many didn't. Because we don't ultimately know what's going to happen. We don't know how things will play out. We don't know what innovations will come or won't come. We simply cannot know. And we are not good at predicting anything. So why is there such a fear then? Well, the mind likes to help, to survive, to react to things, to scan for problems and to avoid those problems if possible, because that's how we survive. So the way I live is simply, like I've said in so many of my videos, I live moment to moment, I do what I can, and I've noticed that we're all equipped with the ability to live life. We don't have to think so much, we don't have to constantly control life, we don't have to know where we're going every single moment. We can be more relaxed about our thinking, our ideas, our certainty about something that's inherently uncertain, which is what the future is. And the fear of the future is a way of thinking and placing images and ideas on what you think will happen. So again, you're afraid of your image of the future and what that will lead to. And the question is, do I have to know the future? Now you might say, yes, of course I do. But haven't you lived your life up until now not knowing what the future holds? Even if you thought you knew what was coming, you didn't. You just thought you did. And when you think, you feel a false sense of certainty. Now, I'm not trying to get you off balance here, make you even more afraid. I'm saying to know or not know, they both don't matter, because you're still living life in this moment. And you don't need to know, because problems arise, challenges come up, and you do what you can with what you have. If you can't solve them, then you can't solve them. Now you might say, well, if I can prepare, then I can solve. But look at how much preparation you do and how often you're wrong. eventually, if you worry enough, your whole life will become preparation and you won't live at all. And you say, well, life is collapsing. Well, assume that life is collapsing. Do you want to spend your time worrying and preparing for things that may not happen, or do you want to live life? And the other part of this that I've noticed is that when I'm more relaxed, there's an innate wisdom that guides me through interest. And I've become interested in things that are relevant to me. When I read newspapers and everything else, I take in a lot of information that's not relevant to me. So there's a lot of filtering and discernment that's needed, because otherwise you just end up worried and afraid of everything. And you don't know if it's relevant to you or not, because you're living your life. We can't be worried about everything in life because we're not meant for everything. Each person can do their set of things well. Like I'm doing my thing here because this is what I feel drawn to do. I feel drawn to work with people to help them realize that they can live their own life. They don't have to be chained by all these invisible rules. And you can tap into your innate well-being because it's always been there. And you know that because when you relax, you don't take life so seriously. You become more at peace. And it's not something you have to force because it's natural. So all this worrying about the future, of the unknown, realize that it's an image. It's not the actual future that you're worried about. It's how you perceive that future. And yeah, what I would say is begin to listen to you. Instead of being stuck in your mind, begin to notice what you feel drawn to do. What's interesting to you? And when ideas about the future come and you begin to feel worried, maybe you don't have to take them so seriously. But then you might say, well, then we'll certainly be in trouble because if no one takes their worry seriously, nothing will get done. But solutions happen naturally. I don't have to be worried in order to help people. You don't have to be in fear to do good things. And I've noticed when I'm relaxed, when I'm at peace inside, that's when solutions come up. That's when innovation happens. And you know, because you hear people that come up with innovations and ideas, they say their best ideas come when they're exercising, meditating, taking a shower, taking a walk, playing with their kids, which are all activities and things where you aren't thinking so much. So, pay attention to what you think is true and the certainty you have about those ideas. They may be correct, but they also may not. So, click all the buttons if you want to, and I see you in the next video.